I hinted to you that I really had this crazy, crazy experience when I went to the sensory deprivation tank.
Tell the folks what the
last
sensory
week.
deprivation tank is like.
So the
'cause maybe they don't
sensory
have it.
deprivation tank is basically you're in a private room, you shower. It sounds more exotic. You take off all your clothes. You take these wax earplugs, you plug in your, and then you go into a tank that looks like a giant clamshell, and it's basically like a shallow jacuzzi with the lid. But inside that water is about 1,000 pounds of sodium. So when you go in there, it's really impossible for you to sink. You're going to float like you're just sitting on the Dead Sea. Like you're going to float. It's warm water, so it adjusts your body temperature. Then you close the lid, and then the lights turn off. And it's so dark in there, even if your eyes are wide open, you can't see. So basically, right now, you eliminated your sense of sight. You eliminated your sense of hearing. With the salt water and gravity is not pulling you anymore, and the water adjusting to your body temperature, you've surrendered your sense of feeling. So really, all you have at that point is your sense of smell, and you're in a tank, so you're not going to really smell anything. All your sensors shut down, and you're just alone with your thoughts.
And so, where did your thoughts go?
So my thoughts. So the whole idea is when you don't have anything for your brain to give you some feedback on, you're gonna start making stuff up, and that's kind of like transcendental meditation. You're gonna start. You have to kind of muscle through these thoughts, but eventually, your brain's gonna have no stimulation, and it's everything you're gonna get is gonna come from the inside. It's just you versus you. And then once you purge all these thoughts that are coming to you, you're going to start getting thoughts from another place. And that other place could be not your subconscious, because eventually even your subconscious, you're going to start tapping into your superconsciousness. From your superconsciousness now, this is when you're talking in a dimension that is, like he said in the Twilight Zone, not of sight, of sound, but of mind. You're in a dimension of mind, and you are in the mind, the collective consciousness, the creative consciousness, the God consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And for me, I had something talking through me that took over my hands. And then when I put my hands on my chest, they just said, I can't believe I'm physical again. And they put their hands on my chest. But when I felt it on my chest, my sense of feeling came back, because I was like, wait a minute, whose hands are on my chest? Because it didn't feel like it was my hands. Something took over my hands, but it was on my chest. And then it said, oh, don't worry, I'm hiding in your brain, so you were helping me experience physical reality, but since I was in there, we got to communicate, and as soon as you leave, we're not going to really be able to communicate anymore. And it just like really blew my mind. And then I was like, how is this possible? And then the voice said, hey, don't worry about it. Everything that can happen is going to happen anyway, so why are you going to worry about it? And then I was just like, okay. They're like, and I was like, well, what can you tell me? They're like, think The Matrix meets Rick and Morty. And I was just like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, I knew you would get that. And I was just like, who is this? And then 60 minutes passed, the filter turns on, and the light slowly came up, and it brought me back to this reality. But it felt like I was in there for 10 minutes, but I was actually in there for 62 minutes. Dude, it blew my mind.